Hi, and welcome to the lesson on the A minor progression. Actually, the progression is actually A minor, G, F, E7. But this is kind of a neat progression, and I'm going to show you some licks or riffs that can go along with this that really sound really neat. I'm going to explain what this is first of all. You probably want to copy this down, and then you definitely want to make notes on this. So at this time, go ahead and pause the tutorial and just copy this down, and then I'll explain everything what's going on here. Before we get started, I just want to let you know what's going on this diagram. So you see the progression is A minor, G, F, E7. That's the progression. So under the A minor chord, these are all the versions of A minor that we're going to play. Basically, this is the A minor chord. You still have the A minor on top. We're actually adding some notes as the song, as the music progresses, okay? And these notes are based off of the C scale, okay? So just to let you know that if you got into the section about the C scale in the supplemental area of the back of the syllabus, that's where we're getting this. Next is the G chord, and writing all the G chords under the chord, so you know it's all together. So that's the G chord, and once again you still have the G chord here, but that first string is kind of moving with some riffs or notes or that's based off of the C scale again, and here it is again. This is just half of the G chord, and with one of the notes on the fifth fret. Keep in mind that's the fifth fret that it's on. Okay. Next is the F chord. There's the F chord, and once again you still have the F chord there with some riffing notes that are in here. These notes are based off of the C scale once again. F chord, and basically it's the same thing as that. E7 chord. I drew the chord over here. Basically this whatever we're going to play here is going to follow that technique. And this technique, all this means that you just repeat the E7, and I didn't write it again. But this technique that we're doing, it's a little difficult, so you're going to have to practice down a bit. But it's really, it sounds really neat. Okay, so basically, here's the E7 chord. Here's the E7 chord, and then these notes here once again are based off of the C scale. But you're actually playing with your left hand. You're actually playing triplets while you're strumming. So you're doing two different rhythms at the same time. Okay? So that's something you want to keep in mind. So at this time, if you haven't copied that down, just copy down the old board, and then we'll get started here in a second. And definitely want to take notes on this. Okay, so let's check our tuning. G, C, E, A. Okay, so I'm going to start by playing a little bit, and then this is just to give you an idea. I really want to encourage you to venture out and kind of be creative. I give you a basic progression here, but you can venture out in and create kind of your own maybe style of playing it. This is just one example that I'm going to play for you, and then I'll break it down and maybe see if it can give you some ideas, and maybe hopefully you can take off in your own direction and being creative and exploring your style. Okay, here we go. So once again, this is the progression I'm playing. These are the chords I'm playing, and then I'll start to add in these things as we play, and yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what I did basically is I just played these 4 chords over and over, and then I just added variations into it. So it sounded like the song kind of progressed into maybe some other melodic melodies within that. But basically I'm just repeating these 4 chords over and over. So I started out playing A minor, G, F, E7, then I started adding various notes in here based off the C scale. Keep in mind, we're going to keep this separate, but we'll go over it. The E7, okay, it's 2 different rhythms played in one. So you're playing a triplet with your left hand. You're playing a triplet with your left hand, and you're playing 4/4 with your right hand. Okay, so that's why it kind of has like a really neat sound. So let's take it step by step. So the strumming, and I want to encourage you to explore your own strummings, but the strumming for this song is basically dun 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 dun. So that's the basic strum. You can keep it up and down strum through the whole song if you want. Just to keep time with it. Okay, but that's the basic strum that I was showing you. So as I'm playing, okay, what's happening here is that as I'm strumming, I'm adding the notes below it. So right over here is the A minor. I'm adding the notes below it, consisting of an open string, 2nd fret, 1st string, 3rd fret, 1st string. So here's an F minor, opens, F minor, and then I put down the 2nd fret, and then the 3rd fret, and I come back down, open, okay, once again. So the strumming might, okay, and then the G, same thing. I'm playing a G, and the notes is open, 2nd fret. So as you can see, it's the same thing, the same notes right there. Same notes, same notes. So there's a pattern, the G. So again. The F, same thing. Second fret, 1st string. Okay. And the E7, of course. Sometimes I add this note. So I'm playing the E7. I might add this baby finger here, right there, right there. That's it. That's it. Just adding a baby finger there. And then, as the song progresses, I might add in the higher note here, which is on the 5th fret. Okay, so here's the A minor chord, adding on the 2nd fret, 1st string, and then the 5th fret, 1st string. So here's the A minor chord, 2nd fret, 1st string, and then baby finger on the 5th fret. Back down. The G is based off of the G. And then the 5th fret. So once again, G, fifth, okay, and then the F, you just do the same thing that you did on all the Fs. Okay. Okay. And then, okay, here's a hard one. This E7. So you got an E7 chord, okay? And then this is strumming in 4/4 time, the right hand. Now the left hand is doing this. Watch closely. Baby finger down, pulling off. Ring finger pulling off. Back down. So that's what I'm doing. At the same time, I'm strumming. Once again. So as you're strumming, what happens is that when you strum, as the finger comes down, so what causes the triplet sound is that this finger does this. Now if I took these two fingers off, the baby finger, the triplets look like this. But since I have the E7 there, I'm using the same fingers and I'm hammering on as well. I'm not playing with my right hand. So that's gonna take some practice. There is a scale exercise that I show in the scale supplemental on how to exercise your fingers for that. You might want to refer to that, or what you can do is just take these two fingers here, the last two fingers, and just go pull off and hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off. That's going to take some work though, okay? So, you know, it's a really neat sounding riff, but it's going to take some work at it, okay? So what's happening is when I'm playing that E7 along with the chord, the strumming hand is going like this in 4/4. This is exactly what if I'm playing the E7, the right hand is doing exactly this, and the left hand is doing its own thing in triplets. There we go. Did you see that? So basically the fingering has a very strong control and command over the fretboard to make those notes sound out. So you can see that this is doing a triplet and this hand is doing a 4/4, so that's why it sounds like there's two instruments going on at the same time. Okay, so yeah, this is an advanced tutorial on this progression, but I really hope that you can kind of take this technique and kind of run with it and explore and do your own thing. It really maybe kind of do your own little style. That there's many ways you can do it. There's many different rhythms that you can apply to this progression. This is just one really basic example. So please, I encourage you to experiment with this. Keep in mind that the riff or notes or licks are based off of the C scale. That's covered in another tutorial and another section, and basically the idea with the scale and the progression, that's also based on theory, you know, what chords fit, what scales fit, etc. So if you've been kind of really doing the course lesson in order and really doing your best at trying to understand and everything. This shouldn't be too difficult for you to understand. If it is, by all means go at your own pace and give it time, and you find it very rewarding as you go on. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Keep in mind you can play it faster if you want. I'm just going to kind of take it a little medium. Okay, so please, by all means, take this little progression, turn it into your own progression, and kind of do some exploring with that. And once again, if you need to back out the tutorial and listen to it a few times to maybe take some notes on it, by all means do it as many times as you get comfortable. And then when you're ready, we'll see you for the next lesson.